it's been a while and this is a new angle for you. Every video you're gonna get a new angle. And also, wow, new jacket. That's crazy. I get out of the gray jacket every once in a while. That's crazy. Anyways, disregarding the noise outside, I did want to say something real quick. I've been realizing this as the days go on, that there is no whole happiness. A full happiness is perhaps unachievable. And I don't want you to confuse happiness with contentment. Contentment can be achieved in any situation you're in, no matter it's horror, no matter its comfort. Contentment can be found anywhere. But true happiness, a true elation of joy, is simply unachievable in the human form, in the human earthly form. Okay, that sounds way too cult-like. I don't mean it that way, okay? But I was reading, a few weeks ago, I was reading James Herriot's All Creatures Great and Small. And in that memoir, he brings up throughout the novel, memoir slash whatever, throughout the book, he's going back and forth between thinking that being a vet, like a veterinarian, is the best thing on the planet, and it being literally the worst, you know? And one of the chapters, he's like, it was one of those black mornings where vets think that I'm paraphrasing, but it's like when vets think that they have the worst job in the world, or like they're like questioning themselves and like, why did I choose to be a vet in the first place, you know? And I was reminded by that because while writing my poetry, I was like, oh my god, this is the best thing on the planet. Or when I'm writing in general, it's like, oh my god, this is the best thing on the planet. And then, you know what comes after it? The marketing comes after that. The publishing comes after that. The contracts come after that. And it's like the sharing, just the aspect of sharing your own literature. You know, whether that's a novel, whether that's a poetry, whether it's a poetry collection. And it's like, oh my god, it's like you don't want to do that. Like you're like, oh god, you know, you're like, I hate this. Why are you reading my work? You know what I mean? And a part of that also applies to my YouTube videos personally. Like, I'm like, okay, I've expressed my thoughts. That's great. But why do my thoughts have to be connected to me as a person? To me as a voice? Like, it's kind of like, why do I have to be a conduit for the messages that I want to share? Do you understand what I mean? Like, I don't... Anyways, and that's what I was talking about. I was talking about that there's just simply no whole happiness, you know? And you can find contentment in this sort of rhythmic ebbing and flowing of just like being like doubting yourself so much and hating everything you do and being happy with what you do, you know? Because you have to think about it. This also just primarily applies to pursuits, you know, pursuits that are quite earthly in the sense that they're material, you know, like writing. Writing is a career thing, it's a pursuit for monetary gain. Filming YouTube videos, that's a monetary gain thing, or a pursuit thing that's like completely only related to like the material world. I feel like my conversations don't really make sense unless you're like in my head, so if it doesn't make sense, just tell me in the comments. I'll like keep that in mind, but I don't know, I'm just talking right now. So what I was saying is basically any pursuit you do, anything you pursue that's for the sake of this earth, you know, even if that's something that you think is holier than thou, like writing literature or painting or doing all these things, and you're like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing on the planet. It's not. You know, no happiness is whole, right? That's true if you get an office job too. You're not gonna be totally happy all the time. You're gonna be like, oh my god, my back hurts. Oh my god, I hate being in traffic. Like, there's just so much to hate and so much to love about everything. Do you understand what I mean? There's no like constant. It's a rhythm. And you have to find contentment in that. And there are situations where the chosen career path you have picked is like way too bad. And that's when it like completely flows to the opposite side of like, what am I doing? What am I doing here? What's the point of me being here? You know? And you could get that in like an office job. If you don't like an office job, you're gonna be like, oh my god, I hate this. It's gonna be more than just, oh, I hate traffic, oh, my back hurts. It's gonna be like, what am I doing? What am I fundamentally doing with my time here? You're gonna have like an existential crisis every day. That's like if it's like flowing in the bad side too often. And if what you're doing is flowing to the good side often, then that means that's good, you know, even if it has its little troughs, you know. It's like you can't have spring and summer without winter and autumn. There has to be something to counteract that full goodness, that full happiness, because that's the way it works on Earth. You know, this, at the end of the day, you're a soul. You're not like a vessel. I mean, you are a vessel as a human, but like at the end of the day, you're a soul. What that means is that soul is like something immaterial. You understand what I mean? It's immaterial. It's not like, well, like, this is a material object. This is something to drink water out of. This is a material object, you know? Eventually, these things are gonna degrade. They're gonna, like, plop down and die or whatever. But there's something immaterial. That soul, okay, we should be trying to explain my philosophy. The soul, okay, which doesn't reside here, actually, resides here and here, both places. The soul, okay, is completely immaterial, okay? If all this stuff degrades, your soul still exists, right? And because your soul is immaterial, there's kind of no perfect joy it can have in a material world. Therefore, your pursuits should be related to organizing for, you know, the place where your soul goes. I don't know how to explain this to you if you're not like into that spirituality thing. But okay, I'll just put a pin on that. We'll talk about it in another video, I guess. But for now, we're just gonna talk about how there's like no whole happiness, which is related to that. But like it's fine, like I can like remix it for you if you're not into spirituality. So what I mean is like crap, I'm really thinking about what to say here. You know what, this episode this video is not it. But okay, let me think. Let me just think for a bit. Okay. So I'll talk about my poetry collection. Writing it was fine. Actually facing what I wrote is not fine. Not fine at all. Like it's really awful. It's kind of awful to like read it out loud. Like as a reclusive person, as somebody that just like resides outside in nature where it's the quietest and just tries her best to stay away from like crowds and things like that. It's like it's not really nice, you know? And the same applies to like my other literary projects as well, but like what are you supposed to do, you know? Because there's a very definite need to express yourself as a human being, right? And for example, the videos I film, there's like an innate desire for me to express myself in this format. And when I used to not film videos and things like that, writing, I would end up damaging my relationships because all I did was I would basically like talk like this, you know. I would just talk about philosophy. It was like that relationship turned into like instead of a conversation, it was just like a presentation basically. And that's just part of my personality, and it's up to me to correct it, like with through journaling and things like that, and also just finding an outlet for that, you know. And if I want to present and I want to express myself in a sort of presentation format, not in like a conversation format, then I can, you know, pick up writing. I can do these videos, you know? That's, at the end of the day, that's why I do these videos. Because, like, because there's no other option. What am I supposed to do, you know? Like, I need to express philosophical conversations and things like that, and I just don't know how to do that in video format. Anyways, so yeah, there's no whole happiness, because such a thing cannot be expected or gained from a material world. And materialism also is connected to things that might not particularly seem materialistic, like pursuing art, pursuing creative pursuits like that, but they are materialistic at the end of the day because they result in material good, you know? Even a story, a film, whatever, that's a material good at the end of the day. That's like a material thing. I can see it, you know? I can even touch it. I can touch books, you know? So if you put so much effort into the material, you'll never be happy, actually, because you can be content, but you won't be happy because it's just the material. Now, pursuing the material is very important for you to, you know, feed yourself, because, like, at the end of the day, you know, you need food and, like, you need to pay your rent, things like that. So there is a degree of, like, oh, I have to pursue the material. And if you are going to pursue the material, you might as well pursue the material that you dislike less. Yeah, that's the end of the day what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say, am I missing anything? I'm not sure, you know, because I'm reflecting as I'm talking. I'm reflecting upon my own dilemma with this situation, and I'm reflecting upon it, and I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? And I feel like I don't have an answer to that yet. You know, I guess I can just, like, keep trying to do the thing that I'm meant to do, because I've been doing it for the past 3 years or 4 years, which is writing. I've been doing that, not 4 years, I've been doing it for the past 3 years, and, like, I guess I'm gonna, like, keep doing that. I don't know. And filming YouTube videos, I guess I'm gonna keep doing that too, because I like to express my thoughts. This is a very not helpful video. I genuinely thought this video was gonna be, like, so helpful. I was gonna be like, oh my god, yeah, that makes sense. Happiness is not real. But, like, it's not. Like, this turned out to be non-beneficial at all. Okay, now, if you discovered me from this and you're not a subscriber, just know that most of my videos are very helpful. This is, like, an exception, okay? Promise you. And for everybody that was like, you know what, I want to see you do a ChatGPT video, I didn't upload it at the end of the day, because I was like, you know, you guys are here for philosophy, self-help, things like that. You guys aren't here for, like, me playing Uno with ChatGPT. So I was like, I'm not gonna upload that. And like, if you want to follow my socials, because I do link them down below, just know that my social media presence on Instagram and TikTok is primarily just to showcase my poetry and my writing. It's not for, like, my philosophical mumbo jumbo that I'm trying to do. So just keep that in mind if you're looking to follow me, because a lot of people followed me and then they realize that I don't post the content on social media, and they're like, oh, what? And they unfollowed me. It's like, I don't want you to, like, get that expectation and be like, where's the philosophy? It's not on there. Okay, have a good day, and remember that you're yourself when you're surrounded by your comfort. And what's that comfort? The human comfort in grass. You know, when you're out in nature, that's you. That's actually you. Right? These 4 walls constrain your human thought and your human soul into, they literally box it up, you know? So the more you're outside in nature, the more you're trying to survive in the rugged wild, that's actually you. Everything else is not you. It's just a manufactured little 21st century little thing, okay? It's like not you. It's not you, okay? So my wish for you is to go outside and meet yourself. Bye-bye.